What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we're going to be taking a little bit of a look at, well, the Season 1 kit. Open play nights, premium kits, fun stuff, ladies and gentlemen, fun stuff. We've had another organised play update. I've been showing you all the organised play stuff on this channel, well, since it started all being revealed. And so far, the reaction from you lovely ladies and gentlemen has been, oh, cool. Let's learn more about this. So I thought, right, let's talk more about it, shall we? These things sound fun, and one of the first things we need to point out here, these are not chain-bound tournaments. We've had chain-bound tournaments for a little bit of a while now. Well, I haven't personally, but some of you had. You gain change, you gain power levels. If we got time at the end, we'll have another little reminder of that. These are not chain-bound tournaments. These are open play nights. And the whole point of these, the whole theme of these, very simply is ease of play, get into it. So at a chain-bound tournament, you rock up with one deck and you play a tournament, usually 3 or 4 rounds, using that one deck. And you try and increase the power of that deck. And you gain chains and you gain power levels. Again, we'll get to it at the end if we've got time, but as it stands at the moment, Fantasy Flight Games have told us that there is no reward at the moment for power levels in terms of tournament entry. We believe in the future there will be tournaments where you have to have power levels, and I believe that's even been said, but it's also been said quite clearly that at the moment we're in the early stages of this. We're not there yet. We are trying to build the organised play, and essentially we'll get there. The whole point of chain-bound tournaments is, look how good my deck is. I am going to get chains and get power levels and prove to you this is an amazing deck. That is not the point of open play nights. Open play nights, I think they put it really nicely on the article they released, Fantasy Flight Games. Step 1, show up to the store. Step 2, play Keyforge. Maybe you want to rock down, play a single game and then leave. Cool, do it. Maybe you want to rock up and play for 3 hours with your mates and play game after game after game. Cool, do it. Maybe you want to test out one deck against a bunch of different people. Go ahead. Maybe you want to take down 7 different decks and play one game with each of them. Well, I think by now you can probably see where we're going with this. Do it, ladies and gentlemen. It is all kinds of good. That is the whole point of open play nights. You play your way. Now, from experience, things like this can get a little bit awkward, especially for shyer people who don't want to approach and ask to play games, whereas at a chain-bound tournament, you're paired up against each other and it's a lot easier. The thing to remember is, this is the job of your friendly local game store. Incidentally, right, that is where you should be buying the majority of your decks if you're able. If you do have a friendly local game store, do please try and make sure you support them, because they're the people that are going to be running these tournaments, and we need to kind of keep them going and keep them healthy so that they can be there to run the tournament. So quick PSA, and I know it's not always possible, and that's fine, but where you can, do please support your local game store. And it's up to them to figure this out. That is one of the challenges of having these open play games, these open play nights. You do need some level of organisation, but let's just assume your friendly local gaming store is going to help you out. Now, one of the cool things about this, they are themed after houses, and the first lot are themed after Mars, which you know is going to make me happy. I have made absolutely no secret of my love for Mars as a house. I adore Mars. Most of my decks have got Mars. The only pre-open deck that I bought, I made sure it had Mars in. I tend to play more Mars than anything else. Frankly, ladies and gentlemen, I love Mars. Mars are my boys. And you get a card. And of course, that card has a Mars creature on it. It's Wygsley Marauder, if anybody's wondering. And I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, and I don't even really care. Incidentally, I will tell you where the artwork from all of these comes from, because I love Mars too much and I weirdly know them all. Damn! So what you get is you get this card, and every month you've got 12 slots. And when you play a game, you fill one in, and when you've played 3, you get an alternate art card. Cool. Wait, what are these alternate art cards? I'll show you in a second. And you can essentially do one a night, over 12 different nights, or you can just do 12 in one go. And then Clearly you can keep playing, but the deal is essentially that you do 1 month, 12 cards, and so on and so forth. I mean, presumably you could just keep going and earn copy after copy after copy, but that is also going to come down to your friendly local game store and how much of this they actually have. So what are the Season 1 cards? Well, they have been revealed before, but let me show you them here. The first month, we have an Ember or a key cost increased by 1 Ember, because they are double-sided cards. So either like, hey, I've got an Ember, or, oh man, my forging has gone up by 1. Now, the forging going up by 1 is very, very, very well themed here. It's Grabber Jammer, which of course, as a card, does increase the cost of forging a key by 1. And then the 1 Ember here is actually the action card Total Recall, which does gain you Ember. So again, it does kind of work. Also, great old movie. We've also got a card which gives you 1 damage or 3 damage. Well, allows you to show 1 damage or 3 damage. These are cards that help you play. They don't actually put damage down. That would be weird. And the 1 damage is the card Compod, which is super weird because it's not actually Compod. It's the mirror version of Compod, which I find extremely strange. That's weirding me out just a little bit. As for the 3 damage here, it's Ammonia Clouds. I like Ammonia Clouds. I've played a lot of games of Ammonia Clouds. Deals 3 damage to each creature. I've got this in a few decks. I love it. And then into month 2, we've either got Power or Stun. So we've actually got your Auxiliary Marauder, just like we had on the actual card where you're counting down and all of that good stuff. And then for the free power, we've got Zorg. I like Zorg. I mean, it enters play stunned, and honestly, you never really get to play Zorg because you enter play stunned and exhausted, and then next turn you get to unstun it, and then the turn after you actually get to use it. It's going to be 2 Mars turns from when you play it until you can actually use Zorg, and approximately 99% of the time, you're just going to get Zorg destroyed before it happens. So, yeah, a little bit of a pain. Now, the good news is, and this is probably the most exciting part of the video, there is also a premium kit. I know, right? And there's a whole bunch of Mars-themed prizes that essentially you can do what you like with. Now, what you could do is just run a 16-person tournament, but you can essentially do whatever you like with it. As they say in the article here, it can host demos and awards Season 1 kit promos as rewards to everyone who attends. It can host tournaments and reward the Season 1 kit promos. It can offer its premium kit to the most dedicated open play participants, or use them to support 1 or more tournaments. You can essentially do as you will with them. But ladies and gentlemen, they are beautiful, and I love them. What comes in the kit is 16 double-sided Mars-themed Chain Tracker and Active House cards, 16 double-sided each of the keys, 1 blue, 1 red, 1 yellow, 8 Auxiliary Marauder deck boxes. To be fair, these do seem like cardboard deck boxes. They don't seem like the chunky plastic ones that you might go and buy at your local game store. So these are fun, but they're not going to be probably the most hard-wearing. They're promotional deck boxes. They are fine. But what you also get is 2 Auxiliary Marauder playmats. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that is what Wossy's after. I don't know if there's 2 game stores near me that do occasionally run Keyforge tournaments, not as much as I'd like. And I don't know if either of them are going to be doing these open play days. But I really, 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 really hope they do. And if they do, I need to find a way to get me one of these playmats. Now, incidentally, an extra copy of each of these items has been included for the tournament organizer, either to keep or to distribute at their discretion. And that really is going to come down to how much they enjoy Keyforge and how nice they're feeling at the time. These sound like fun, and they are very relaxed. They're chilled. That's kind of the whole point. Now, in terms of your chain-bound tournaments, like we said, the whole point of those is take down a deck, either one you want to test, your best deck, whatever it might be, and then you play a 3 or 4 round tournament, and you gain chains, or lose chains, or gain power levels, you can't lose them, as you go. So that's kind of cool because let's say, for instance, you get 19 chains, you go up to power level 4. If you then lose some chains because you lose a few games, you still remain at power level 4. So you might end up, theoretically, with 0 chains if you went on an epic losing streak, but still end up with a power 4 deck. That's kind of cool, ladies and gentlemen. These do meet very different audiences. Chainbound, I want to go and test my deck. Let's get this on. Let's go one deck. Open play. Let's roll, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just roll. I think these sound like fun, and I am just about to go and message both of my friendly local game stores to try and make sure. But I would like to know what you think about all this news. Are you going to any of these tournaments? Is your local game store getting involved? Which of these promo items are you really into? Let me know in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. Go nuts, but please do make sure to be nice. That is very important. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, and that's where we talk about games. And we have a lot of fun. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.